before I start, okay, why this is the most important part is because actually this is the reason Okta is built for, and that is called security.
Okay.
Uh, we spoke about identity and access management, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, if you take any company, okay, so to defend IT, identity is the first layer or a first line of defense
Okay.
nowadays. Earlier, it used to be like, you have the corporate network and, you log in into that one and blah, blah, blah. But now, due to hybrid work and remote work, it has been changed. So
Okay.
identity is the first line of defense. If identity is compromised, you are gone. But if your identity cannot be compromised, then you are very, very secure. Yeah, obviously, if you have some vulnerable software or something like that, that is a complete different thing. That you can't means that is a complete different story for information security. But at least if your
Okay.
identities are not compromised, then you can, defend your organization very much. So many people or many organizations are implementing Okta, but they actually don't realize that this is a very important piece of stuff that they need to look at it. As I said earlier, Okta is a first line of defense or kind of, your everything. So this security settings, it's a most important one, and most of the time, these are the ones which you will be only configuring once and you will not be changing it time to time. So first, these are the notifications. I have
Mhm.
kept it disabled, all of them apart from one. If you want, you can keep this enabled for everyone. I would suggest to keep everything enabled.
Gotcha.
New sign-on notification means if user's browser or computer or location or IP, if it is past 20 logins, if it detects a difference, then it will consider as a new sign-in. We will take, we can configure that behavior into behavior detection as well. Here, you can, there are a lot of criterias are there. So like city, so they will evaluate against last 15 authentication, country, last 15 authentication, device, last 15. So here you can
Okay.
configure whatever you want. Okay, latitude, longitude also. So it's basically up to you, like how many past authentications you want to evaluate. You want to evaluate for like 5 authentications only, which is much tighter, then you can do that. But these are the default settings from Okta, and we generally keep it. But if you think like this is not the right one, best thing is go to your information security team, ask them what they would like to have it here. You may have
Mhm.
to explain them a little bit what it does, but once they understand, maybe they will be able to give you the number that you have to put it here. And
Okay.
once you put that number, okay, then here, if it is enabled, then user will get an email if they sign in from new device or anything. Or if somebody is trying to spoof somebody, at least they will get an email.
Mhm.
Same ways go for password change email. If they are changing password themselves, obviously they will get email. But if somebody is trying to reset or somebody has resetted it, they will get email. Say
Gotcha.
these two are more important. MFA enroll and MFA reset. Many times it happens. People try to, bypass MFA or reset MFA and enroll their own multi-factor. At that time, this can be useful. At least user will get a notification that a new multi-factor is added or multi-factor has been reset. So if they find unusual, they can immediately report suspicious activity via email.
Gotcha.
They will get an email like, new sign-in or something. Let me show you maybe. Yeah. See,
Gotcha. Okay.
each time they will get this email, there will be a button report suspicious activity. So if they report it, you will have a task here in a dashboard.
Okay.
You see here, 0 users have self-reported suspicious activity. So here you
Gotcha.
will see, and you have to see the logs and make sure that it is, false alarm. We hope that it's a false alarm, but if it is not, then we immediately InfoSec team comes into action. So this was kind of a general one. Based on the need of your organization, you can disable or enable it, but I would suggest to keep everything enabled. If users get email, they can just, if they want to ignore, they can ignore it, but at least you will be safe that, hey, Okta is sending an email. Keep an eye.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is very important. Remember, be checkbox sign in.
Gotcha.
Generally, I keep it disabled. Right now, it's my just dev tenant. That's why I kept it enabled. And activation emails means a new user, if you have enrolled and they have to activate themselves through email, the expiry would be 7 days. You can increase or decrease it. This one, this is important one. It will do the device binding. Okay. I will have to take it later on because it is connected with other stuff. And username match criteria on sign in. Here it's a short match, but you have to match entire username whenever you are activating or anything, the user. And this one is user can see the recent activity. So if you have enabled it, they will be able to see the recent activities over here in their dashboard. Otherwise, they will not be able to see that. Let me load. It's taking time to load. Yeah. Here they will be able to see the recent stuffs if it is enabled. Otherwise, they won't. See, here is the tab recent activity. So a user itself can see like when they did.
Okay.
Got it? So it is also important. Keep it
Okay.
enabled. Okta Mobile. This is not relevant now. My one is old one. This should be, like in identity engine, Okta mobile app is not there. Earlier, they used to had a mobile app from wherein you can log in and, you can open the mobile apps. But now they have, discarded it in new identity engine. So you don't need to worry much. If existing users are there, keep the setting as it is, ask them to upgrade to our identity engine, and then this will be gone. This is extension setting. So if you want for iOS, you can do it. Otherwise, just I would suggest not to, until unless it is not company provided phone, don't enable this.
Okay.
Now, the last part comes, which is very, 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 very important. Okta Threat Insight. So this system is built by Okta. Kind of, they have their own system. It will be shielding entire Okta tenant of yours. Means every Okta tenant, it will be shielding against the malicious attempts. And they will, if they detect what they want you to, what you want them to do, that you can do it here. Let's say if there is any malicious attempts, no actions. Okay. You just want to log the actions. Okay. Log and enforce security based on threat level. This is the ideal setting that you should be keeping.
Okay.
And generally, if you have internal company network, then you have to define here the zones. I will shortly take, what the zones are.
Okay.
So zone is nothing but a network that you can define. For an example, let's say you are in your company has 3 offices. One is in New York, one is in LA, and one is in Texas. So what you can do is create IP zone, give the name NY. Here, talk with your network guy, put all the gateway IPs. If there is
Okay.
any proxy IPs like Zscaler or Netscope, you can put it here and you save it. As soon as you save this legacy one, Threat Insight will automatically allow access for the proxies, not for entire one, but for proxies.
Okay.
Let's say 10.62.62.10.62.254. Okay, I save it. Now this is my trusted zone. This gateway IP. All IP coming in this range are trusted from my New York office. I will just put NY. So this IPs will be exempted. They will not be considered as a malicious. And I will save it.
Okay.
General, practices, you can specify here your IPs and all, but don't put this exempt zone, this IPs into exempt zone. Because if somebody has gained a, access under your network and they are trying to, do the brute force attack, then maybe your, security will be at risk. So just keep it as it is. If somebody is doing brute force, whether it is from your network or any other network, it is not allowed. So don't add any exemption here. If you want, you can add it here based on, you want to do any, we will learn later like about sign-on policies and multi-factor authentication policies and all, but generally avoid overs there. Network, when we are seeing, I want to show you another one also. This is already created, so I will just show you. You will have some legislative requirement since you are in US that you have to block certain IPs. Now, one good feature from Okta is that they have already blocked all the incoming requests from Russia at their end.
Okay.
If anybody needs access to any Okta tenant from Russia, then they have to contact Okta, and Okta has to contact a Department of Defense or something and get an approval, and then they can only allow. Otherwise, not.
Gotcha.
Here, whenever you create a new zone, create it dynamic. Give any name like block for US or something, or just for blocking countries. Here you can give the countries, any IP type. If it is from, for an example, this is for US and UK both, Iran, Syria, Afghanistan, maybe I'm not sure of Pakistan, but Russian Federation. You can add all the countries that you want to block here. And
Gotcha.
save it. So all the requests coming from this IP, this country's IP, will be automatically blocked.
Gotcha.
That's sad. China. Okay. So this all will be blocked, and this will strengthen your security. So any valid user also, If they are traveling to this country, they will not be able to log in.
Gotcha.
Another thing is Tor. If the IP type is Tor anonymizer proxy, any location, just block. So from anywhere in the world, if somebody is trying to access Okta via Tor to hide their identity and location, they will not be able to, because Okta will detect it's a Tor traffic and they will block it.
Okay.
So these are the important security settings. If any of a new company or somewhere you go and you advise them this one, if they have not configured, it will be, like kind of a value addition for them. This was the general one. Then let's go to health insight. Here it will show you the recommendations. Though it is not like 100%, but it is recommended by Okta. So if you can fulfill it, it would be good. If you can't, it's okay. For example, see here they are showing new sign-on verification is disabled. Factor enrollment is disabled. Reset is disabled. So these are the by default recommendation from Okta that you have to enable it. Once you enable it, it will be gone from here. And here you will be able to see some complete. For example, as soon as we did this one, it's completed.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if you dismiss something, then it will be logged here. This is also important. Not so much people should have admin rights, super admin rights.
Right.
But that we will talk later. But this is a good to check. Try to do all these stuffs that you can over here so that it will be kind of secure. Networks we saw, behavior detections we saw. Let me take you to administrators because it's a small one kind of thing. So here, all the Okta admins, you will be able to see. And here are the roles. These are the standard roles. You can read it, what they can do and they can't do. And there is a documentation also for that. If you just come here and click on this one, help one, Oh. Okay. Sorry. Yes. They have entire, yeah. So for each administrator, what they can do, they cannot do, they have given here. So you can self-read it. It's pretty easy, but just make sure everybody should not be super admin.
Okay.
If you want to give, for example, if help desk comes, give them help desk administrator. They can unlock user, view user, reset password and reset MFA. Okay.
Okay.
If you give read-only administrator, then they will be able to see everything in your console, but they can't change anything. And they will not be able to see administrator settings, obviously. The report administrator, this one is important because if you configure Splunk SIEM tool with Okta, then there will be a service account will be needed from Splunk end, and you have to give this right to that one. Because we only want to send the reports and logs. And here are the resources and admins. Here you will be able to see admins. I will show you resource also what you can do. 3 resource admins are there. Now resource is something, basically more it is used for group admin and application administrator.
Okay.
Now somebody is asking that, hey, I want to, administrate certain applications. So what you can do is create a resource called app1, resource type application. For an example of this one, so what is the application name? I have to see any. Yeah, let's say SpaceX. Yes. Okay. Create resource set, app1, resource type, application, application name. Okay. Save. Now, what you go do is add administrator. Let's say person. Oh, just a minute. Have to see the user. Okta org to org. Okay. Now you select a role, application administrator. Here yeah. Times it's playing with me. Yeah. Select the user. Then select a resource set. Select application administrator. Okay, they will not allow application administrator. They will maybe just give them read only. No, not read only. Application only. Here you can specify SpaceX and save resource stat. One app only. Done. If you want to add another assignment, it's okay. Otherwise, just go to admin list. It's an application admin, but it will have only one app to administrate. Got it?
That makes sense. Got it.
Yeah. So this is the application, but you can do it for users or group as well. If you want to assign like one group, you want to assign as an admin for one person, you can do that.
Okay.
So that was kind of administrators. And yes, one more thing I have to tell you before it is like, you no, not reports, sorry,
Okay.
system logs. So I'm not sure whether I told you or not, but Okta will only save 3 months log, 90 days.
Okay.
More than 90 days log, they will not have. Let's say today's like 8th of November. So minus 90 days, 10th of August. Till that time only Okta will have logs. Before that, Okta will not have. So you have to connect any SIEM system.
Gotcha.
Okay. So there are a lot of tools are there.
Okay.
Splunk is the most popular one is there. But there are others also there. You can see Microsoft, IBM, Splunk, Securonix, Excelbeam, Logarithm, Rapid7, Fortinet, Devo. Lot of it are there. Datadog is also there. So whatever you want, but some systems you will have to connect it so that all the logs are saved there. So if you have any security incident or any, thing needs to be checked, the previous log goes into that system, not in Okta.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So please make sure if you go like this is the first task, one of the first tasks that you have to do when you go, because every day is an important one. So like if they haven't configured it, so from day one, like go and first take this one, get the logs done, then only you do anything else.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now for next one, maybe we will have to keep tomorrow because this my one is the old system one. I have to sign up for the new one. And then I can show you like how the authentication policies, because it's bit changed in Okta Identity Engine. So how
Okay.
the password policies, how the sign-on policies are there, how the multi-factor policies are there. Lot of changes there over there. Sorry, than this one. So that's why I will have to take it tomorrow. I will sign up for the new developer tenant and show you. And then because these authentication policies, sign-on policies, multi-factor policies, these are the important
Okay.
because that is what it's a base kind of thing. The rest of things you don't need, means that will be a BAU, like integrating applications and all that. That also I will show you like how to do that. And there is one we have to do org to org also, so that because it is being asked always in the Okta professional hands-on exam.